Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel, and I am excited to share this Monday with you. I know it is Monday, September something. You would think that with all this time to prepare that I would be able to figure out what the actual day of the month is before we hopped on, instead of having to look down here in the computer. September 23rd. Awesome to be here with all of you. Excited to share some really crucial information. The title of this video is "It's Not Too Late. The time for you is right now." And folks, man, I believe that in every fiber of my being, whether you're 15 years old or 85 years old, it's not too late. You know, I really believe that if you woke up today on this side of the ground, that God's got something in store. God's got a plan for your life. And that plan is exciting and it's abundant and it's better than anything we can normally imagine for ourselves. We just have to be open to letting it in. And part of the reason for that title this morning, folks, was because September 23rd feels like it's getting awfully close to an incredible bull run. And so for those of you that might be a little bit new to crypto and feel like you're behind the curve, like maybe you don't have all the education that you need, maybe you don't have, all of the investment dollars in your portfolio that you wish you had. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough to get to where you want to be during this bull market. I want to let you know it's not too late. So many people in life never ever get started because they think of all of the reasons why something won't work instead of just saying, but what if it does? And so I didn't put it into the title, but today, one of the main themes is going to be having an abundance mindset. And folks, the reason we're going to talk about that is because it's something that I've been working very hard at, and that I believe on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm probably being generous if I give myself a 3 or a 4. Now, some days like today, I'm probably going to be up at an 8 or a 9 or a 10, because of this video. But in general, it's something that I'm working on very hard myself because, folks, as I've mentioned a lot of times on this channel, from the time we were born until about the time we were 6 or 7, we were just these defenseless little sponges that pretty much accepted what we were told as truth. And unfortunately, even though some of us had people with good intentions, they didn't know the truth. If you grew up with a mom or a mom and a dad that were, used to struggling and living paycheck to paycheck, and parents that had been taught go to school and get a good education and get a good job, if you can remember, walking through a grocery store when you were 3, 4, 5, 6 years old and asking your mom or dad for, a candy bar or something along those lines and having them tell you, hey, what do you think this is, Brad? Money doesn't grow on trees. Or, hey, Brad, right now we're just struggling to make ends meet. Every penny that I have is going towards these groceries that are actually, somewhat healthy and nourishing for our bodies. We don't have money to waste on candy bars. If anything like that happened to you in your childhood, if you ever were in a position where there was lack, Christmas time came around and you wanted the Sony PlayStation, or back in my day, it was just the regular Nintendo. I don't know if it was the Nintendo 64 or whatever it might be, but back then, and your parents weren't able to get you what you wanted at Christmas and those types of things. And you grew up in a lifestyle of not having enough. Then as an adult, we start, thinking about having more out of life. And as young adults, we want to have the dream life. We want to have the awesome house, maybe on the beach, or maybe your dream is to have, 100 acres someplace where you have your own fishing pond and can see elk and deer, and on a lake, or wherever it might be for you. Some folks are picture and country living. Some folks maybe want to live in a skyscraper penthouse apartment in Manhattan, New York. Everybody's got different dreams and goals and desires. But my point is you went out into life as a young adult wanting those things, but not realizing that your childhood and a lot of the things that had shaped you before you were even old enough to understand and be able to filter things in and out. See, as you get to be an adult, when somebody tells you something that isn't true, you can kind of say, hey, wait a second, something doesn't ring quite true to me. And you could do your own research and you can, maybe figure out if that's true. But if you were 5 years old and your dad told you, hey, the Varnells just ain't made to be rich. There ain't one Varnell that's ever been rich, and the Varnells aren't ever going to be rich. Holy smokes, and I use my own last name as an example. Now, thank God that didn't happen to me in my case. But I did have two very, very different parents. I had a mom who was super, super, super security minded. She was the total epitome of go to school, get a good education, and just get a good solid job, Brad. Get a job and pay your bills, save a little bit of your income. And, maybe by the time you're 60 or 70 years old, if you worked real hard and you saved real hard, maybe you'll be able to retire and not have to worry about money and how to pay your bills in your golden years. My dad was an entrepreneur. He was a big thinker. He was big-minded, and he wanted big things out of life. And I very much gravitated towards my dad's side of things, but I watched them fight, and I watched this struggle between two people that had very, very different beliefs about money. And so I even have my own things that I'm still dealing with at 51 years old, and trying to reprogram this subconscious mind for abundance. And so awareness is half the battle. And so the reason that we do these Monday crypto mindset mastery, and instead of talking about what crypto to buy and how to invest, we work on this up here, is because this is so important, folks. I cannot stress enough that if you don't get this right, none of the other stuff in your life will ever matter. Sometimes you got to go through it and figure it out for yourself. There's going to be some of you that don't show up on Monday, some of you that don't listen to these, some of you that don't take this seriously, and you're going to make some big money over the next handful of months in this crypto bull market. And then guess what? In 2026, when everything crashes, you're going to come back, and in 2026 and 2027 and 2028, these Monday Mindset crypto shows are going to be your absolute favorite. And you're going to come into this chat and you're going to say, hey, Brad, I wish I would have listened to more of what you were saying on Monday mornings back in 2024, because you were right. I went and I made a bunch of money in the end of 24, beginning of 25. Now it's 26 and most of it's gone, and I'm still not happy. Folks, that's something else that I want to really warn you about that's so important. Listen to me here, please. There's nothing worse than having these big dreams and goals and shooting for them and going for them and getting them, and then still not being happy. And folks, you see it every day all over the world. How many times have you seen an athlete or a actor, a movie star, a singer that has what seemingly feels like everything in the world? Then there's some of the most miserable people that you've ever met that are hurting themselves and doing unspeakable acts in the world. And it's because they got the money, but they never got the mind. And so that's why I'm so sold out on these Monday morning mindset videos, folks. When I decided to do this about 6 months ago, I knew I knew that this was not going to be my most popular video, especially in the beginning. Most people, including me, we just want to watch videos about, hey, tell us what tokens to buy and shut up. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm guilty of, going to a video and it says, hey, here's the next 5 tokens that I'm buying to become a millionaire. And I'm so impatient, I don't even watch the whole 15-minute video. I like go down and look in the chapters. Okay, token number 1 is at the 3-minute mark. I skip the first 3 minutes, token number 1. And then I don't even listen to what they have to say about token number 1. I just get to there and it says, token number 1 is Solidus AI Tech, and I write down Solidus AI Tech, and then I look over, then I skip forward to token number 2, and I watch a 15-minute video in about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and all I do is write down the 5 tokens, thinking that I'm going to go back and do my own research. So I'm guilty of some of this myself. But one of the reasons that I really love this 75 hard program that I'm on right now, I'm working out twice a day for 45 minutes a day. About 90% of the time, I'm in a position where I've got my earbuds in and I'm able to listen to some of the stuff that I'm talking to you about. And lately, I've been focusing on abundance. I've been listening to a gentleman named Dr. Joe Dispenza that is incredible when it comes to the power of intention and manifestation. And even yesterday, I listened to a video where he was talking about how we make mistakes in our home and we don't set our homes up abundantly. And I'm not going to go through all of them. In fact, when you listen to something one time, you only retain, a small portion of it. So I couldn't go through all 7 things, but I will tell you one thing. Like he talks about how, how some of us have an entryway to our house, like where maybe there's, a few pairs of sneakers and a little desk or a little, table there where we throw our keys. And then we might put our wallet and our extra change or a few dollars into a little, bucket or a little coin jar or a little, cup or whatever. And he talked about, what are you telling your mind abundantly when your money doesn't even have a big enough place in your life to make it all the way into the main part of your house, where you just kind of leave it in the, the foyer of your house? Or like if you've got this great big, I don't know about you, but this resonated with me. You've got your car and you got your middle console and you got $30 or $40 worth of change built up in your middle console after just months of throwing change in your middle console. And by now it's got coffee spilled all over and it's all sticky when you finally get ready to clean it up. It's this big old glob of coins that are stuck together. And what are you telling the universe? What are you telling your mind about your desire for abundance? And so I thought it was kind of an interesting perspective. And he talked about ways that you can make your environment feel abundant, so that when you feel abundant and you act abundant, you start creating abundance. You start attracting abundance into your life. I'm going to head over into the chat here in a minute and say hello to everybody, but it reminds me, I talked about this before, maybe a few months ago. There was a gentleman named T. Harv Eker that I went and watched a seminar of his way back in the early 2000s. It was probably closing in on 20 years ago. And he talked about how every time he finds money on the street, he will pick it up and hold it in front of his face and say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am a money magnet." And it was all about creating abundance. He talked about, like, if you're walking down the street and you see a dime on the ground and you're too busy in life to pick up that dime, you're telling your brain that money really isn't that important to you. So it might sound crazy, especially if you're out in public in front of other people, to go pick up that dime and look at it and say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am a money magnet." Now, he's not talking about being crazy. I mean, like, I still, to this day, if I go find, a dime or a quarter out in public, I'm not yelling out, "Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am a money magnet," at the top of my lungs so that the whole world is looking at me like I'm crazy. But I will grab it and just say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am a money magnet." I keep telling myself too, an avalanche of abundance is coming my way. everything that I need is here right now. All that I want in life is here right now. Everything that I am trying to achieve is coming my way. And just, changing little things like that in your life, going from I can't afford that to how can I afford that? Or something else that he talks about that I thought was really cool. Let's say that you're in a store and you see something that you would really like, but you don't have the money for it. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, man, I'd really like to have that, but I can't afford it. Say to yourself instead, you know what? I'm choosing not to buy that right now, but I'm sure looking forward to the day when I choose to buy it. Yeah, sometimes it sounds like mental trickery, and maybe it is. But your subconscious mind, folks, it's been proven. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between an emotional thought and reality. Like, I literally can sit back in my chair and close my eyes, and I can dream of this spot in the Bahamas, Exuma, Bahamas, that I've been at a couple of times in my life. One of my favoriteest place on planet Earth, just about. And there's this one cool beach called Hooper's Bay where you can take these heads of lettuce and you can go swimming with sea turtles. And there's all sorts of fish and different stuff around, but these sea turtles will swim right up to you and they'll take the lettuce out of your hand. And just even talking about it, like, I can vividly imagine it to the point where I'm there. Like, I am there. My subconscious mind doesn't know the difference when I go into that meditation, that visualization. It doesn't know the difference between being there and not being there. And so let me, I'll tell you a quick story. You might have heard this before, but there were these two men, and they were in hospital beds, and they were both very, very sick. And they were in this room, and one of the men was up against the window, and every afternoon he would kind of struggle and just barely be able to prop himself up. He would sit on his elbow and he would look out the window, and he would tell the other man that was up against just a wall that couldn't see anything. He would tell him about all of the amazing things that were outside of this window. There was this amazing park. And he talked about how, the green of the trees and, people walking around. There was a lake, and these people walked around the lake, and he would talk about the little babies feeding the ducks. And this gentleman that was up against the wall, he loved that afternoon, so much. He was able, through this gentleman's talk, to visualize all of those things, and he loved it. It was his favorite time of the day. But after a little while, he started to get kind of grumpy, and he kind of got a little bit, wished that he had the window and wished that he could see all of these amazing things for himself. And so one night, the gentleman that was up against the window started coughing and was choking on something. And the man up against the wall just sat there and did nothing. And the gentleman passed away in his sleep that night, and the nurses came in in the morning and they took him out. And the gentleman waited just the appropriate amount of time, but as soon as possible, he asked the nurses, can you please move me over to the window before you bring in, the next patient? And of course they complied. They said, yeah, absolutely. And so the day came, and they're moving him over there. He can't wait. The nurses finally leave, and he struggles and he finally gets himself propped up and pulled up, and he looks out the window, and all that's there is a brick wall. Everything was in the other person's imagination. And that's just such a good metaphor for life. Some of us are sitting here with the ability to dream about everything that we want, to be able to have everything that we want in life right here. And if you can dream it and you can visualize it and you can believe it right here in your own mind, folks, you can literally bring it into and attract it into your life, amazing things will start to happen. You'll start running into people that have the exact thing that you need. They're the exact connection that maybe you needed. Maybe you run into Brad Varnell here at the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. You know, I'm a firm believer that there's probably people out there that are dreaming of becoming crypto millionaires. And through one way or another, they get suggested in, you know, the YouTube feed suggests my channel, or they get told about me by somebody else, or maybe one of you guys posts one of these videos on your Facebook feed. You know, and some of us, I got 800, 900, 1,000 people on Facebook. I probably only know 100 or 200 of them personally. Most of them are just acquaintances. Maybe somebody comes across a video on Facebook that attracts them and brings them to me. You just never know. But I know that if you're not actively aware of this stuff and you're not working on it, you're not creating an abundance mindset, there's so much, you know, that you are going to miss. So real quick, as I scroll down here, I do want to mention this real fast. BYDFI is a amazing part of the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel now. This is one of my favorite exchanges to use at this point in time. I am super, super excited about the BYDFI exchange. In my inner circle mastermind, we talked about it a lot on Saturday. I showed you guys 3 or 4 trades that I made that I believe are going to turn a small amount of money, $100, $200, into thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. Another great reason to get into my inner circle mastermind. That's something else when we're thinking about abundance. I know a lot of you think that the $97 a month for the inner circle is out of reach. I mean, that's like trying to decide to choose between your cable bill and Brad's inner circle. And I'm telling you that that's a lack of abundance. It's a lack of abundance in your mindset. If you don't think you can afford $97 to get into this incredible group, I talked about some stuff on Saturday where I guarantee you could take $100 and you're going to probably turn it into multiple thousands of dollars. So having been in that group, for the people that are in that group and that were able to see what we talked about on Saturday, they probably got 10, 20, 50 times their value just in 1 month, in one session. We do this almost every Saturday. I'm telling you, $97 a month. If you can't afford it, then figure out a way to afford it. Quit, get rid of something, because I'm telling you, $97 a month to get into my inner circle is going to be worth tens of thousands of dollars to you. And this isn't a sales pitch. I don't care if you don't get into my inner circle. It ain't going to break my heart. It ain't going to break my bank account. I believe, though, that you're doing yourself a huge disservice if the only reason you're not getting into it is because you don't think you can afford the $97. That's not an abundance mindset. And I'm here to tell you that is exactly the type of thinking that's going to keep you from getting to where you want to be in life. On that note, I want to go back here, the BYDFI.com. I put the link here in the description, in one of the top comments. So create your free account and collect your sign-up bonuses here at partnerbydfi.com. That link will take you to BYDFI, and you can create a free account. It's an awesome exchange. It's something I've been looking for, because as a U.S. citizen, I got kicked out of Bybit. Mexi Global is I'm on my way out. I don't really do any futures trading there because I'm a little nervous that they're going to make me try to KYC. And if they find out that I'm not American, then I'm going to have to withdraw all of my funds off the platform. I got to use a VPN anytime I'm going to Mexi Global. I don't keep a ton of money on there because I'm not worried about them keeping my money, but it's just a hassle. And if they decide that they're going to kick me off, KuCoin kicked me all the way out. I had to withdraw all my funds off of KuCoin. Binance kicked me all the way out of their Binance EN. So I haven't really been doing much trading for the last handful of months because I haven't had a good place to do it. And now I do. So BYDFI is a leading exchange. You can do up to 200x leverage, which is pretty crazy. I don't mess around with that, and I don't necessarily recommend that you do either. But some of these trades that I put in over the weekend through my Inner Circle Mastermind group, where I'm taking $100 and using just, 3x leverage, 5x leverage, 10x leverage, and potentially have these trades in place that are going to make me tens of thousands of dollars. So go create your free BYDFI account. I would appreciate it if you use that link. It shows the folks at BYDFI that I'm actually sharing them with my community, and that, that they made a smart decision in sponsoring the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. So they are official sponsor of the channel. I very much appreciate them. And I am absolutely loving BYDFI. So also NEURAHUB. NEURAHUB is a token that we talked about here just maybe a week ago, probably even slightly less than a week ago. We talked about this project here on the channel. We did an interview with the founders of the channel. And so as you can see here, NEURAHUB app, your one-stop shop for AI creation. Create your free account today. So NEURAHUB. Oh, good. I misspelled that. That's fantastic. I just noticed. It's NEURAHUB with a B, not NEURAHUB. So it's NEURAHUB.app for the NEURAHUB. So go to it is spelled correctly over here on the branding. So go to NEURAHUB.app and create your free account. It's a one-stop shop for all of your AI creation needs. So it's way better than like ChatGPT, which, don't get me wrong, I love ChatGPT, but it's way better. It's got way more features, way more functions, and it's got an incredible token behind it that I think the people here that are part of the Infinite Crypto channel that decide that they want to take some of their hard-earned funds and invest it into NEURAHUB are going to be very, very happy. I believe its microcap is lower than 10 million. I forget if it's $1.5 million, 2 million, somewhere in that $1.5 million, 2 million, up to 10 million. It's in that vicinity. I don't remember exactly, but it's extremely low. I do believe it's a very, very solid potential to 10x, 25x, probably maybe even do 50 or 100x. With that, good morning, Dave P. How you doing, buddy? I hope you are doing fantastic. Paul Nalder, hey, good morning. Actually, good evening for you. Hope you are doing amazing. And what do we got here? Don't forget to upload the meeting. Yeah, so that is coming, Paul. In fact, I think Josh is working on it right now. We thought we had the Inner Circle Mastermind uploaded on Saturday. We can't figure out why it didn't take. I'm not sure. Is it done yet, Josh, or is it still in the process? It's good. It is good now, guys. So those of you that are in the Inner Circle that want to watch that replay, please go check it out and watch the replay. And then, last but not least, folks, once again, I said, this is not a sales pitch. If you're not interested, then, God bless you, no worries. But I do want you all to know that I have decided that I believe that this Inner Circle Mastermind is so powerful that I want to give all of you a free month. So normally this is $97 a month, but there's no strings attached. Yes, you do have to put in your credit card when you go sign up to get your free month, but I promise you that your credit card will not get charged anything until your free month is up. And anytime you want between your first day and your 30th day for that free month, you can go back into the portal and you can cancel your membership anytime before your 30 days is up. No hard feelings, no strings attached. And of course, part of the reason that I'm doing this is because I do believe that many of you that have been resistant to joining, if you go see the value that we provide in there for a month, you're going to probably continue on the Inner Circle. But that's good for everybody involved. It's good for me, it's good for you, and it's good for the other members, because the more of us that are there collectively, the more powerful it becomes. part of the reason that that inner circle mastermind was valuable on Saturday was because a couple of our inner circle members came in after I talked about what I was talking about, and they gave their insight, and they brought up some very good points, and they made some, they talked, not critically necessary, but they threw out some other ideas, some things that I hadn't thought about. So I always say, that 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 when it comes to brain power. 1 + 1 in 2 minds is more like the power of 4 minds, and 3 minds is like the power of 9 minds, and it's exponential. We get 50, 100, 200 people in there that have the goal and the dream and the desire to create freedom in their lives. Man, it's just unbelievable the power that we will have. So right now, go to realinfinitecrypto.com. And it's all right there on the website. All you have to do to get your free month is just type in the coupon code Build Wealth. It's right there on the website too. So, if we might throw it in the chat, but just Build Wealth, all one word, all capital letters, Build Wealth. And you get a free month into the inner circle. The other reason for the credit card, folks, is so that I don't get a bunch of scammers and a bunch of people that are just in there causing trouble. Most people that are scammers are not going to put a credit card into existence. They're not going to put their real name and all of that stuff. So we want real people. This is, we should call it, Real Infinite Crypto Inner Circle, just like our Real Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. We want real people with real good intentions. And so that's one of the main reasons, the biggest reason that we require the credit card, is so that we know that you're real and that you have good intentions. You want to be a part of something special. With that, folks, I'm about ready to get out of here. We've got a special interview that we're doing here today in the not too distant future. And I'm excited to meet this gentleman and to give him an opportunity to talk about this project that we're going to be, bringing the interview to you. I do want to mention real quickly here, we got, Ordinal Bots Trio token. We just did an incredible deep dive on Ordinal's bot and the Trio token, another very, very low market cap gem. We did an incredible interview that we just published like 2 days ago with Grant Robertson, the one of the co-founders of 3 Protocol AI. Definitely another super low cap micro cap gem, $1.5 million, micro cap 2 million, 10 million, right in there. Like everything we've been covering lately for the most part is down, at 10 million or lower. I would say that Elastos is another micro cap gem that we are really excited about. This is a company that's been building for like 7 years now. Really gone through a couple of different bear markets and came out on top. ArcBlock has been fantastic. And, I'm sure that I am missing some tokens, TIN. This right here, this token right now is sitting at a little over a $300,000 microcap, folks. This is a token that I believe is going to be 1,000x during this bull market. But if it's not at a minimum of 100x, I'll absolutely be astonished. Right now, it's sitting at about 2.6 cents. Its all-time high back in March or April was 44 cents. So it's got basically about a 20x in it just to get back to its all-time high. It's a play-to-earn gaming project, and I think it is going to be absolutely amazing. So, with that, folks, abundant mindset. There's so many different ways that you can create an abundance mindset, and I don't feel like I am the foremost expert on giving you, hey, this step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and like giving you the outline on how to do it, because I'm still working on it. I'll get back to that point, that one of the challenges in life is when you're going through some financial challenges, it can be a little bit of it can be hard work to feel abundant. But folks, that's part of the process. Like, hard work is part of the process in anything that you want to be successful at. Look at any of the athletes that are elite, the Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans of the world. they worked extremely hard. Yeah, they had talent, but they worked extremely hard. You know, Tiger Woods is famous for being out on the golf course hitting, 100 more balls. Didn't matter whether it was raining or what, he was doing. Like, work is part of it. So yeah, changing your mind and creating an abundant mindset takes focus. It takes discipline. It takes effort. It's like working out. You can't go to the gym and work out once and be healthy. You can't sit down and get comfortable in a chair and visualize once and manifest the life of your dreams. It's an everyday practice. And the more entrenched you are in the negative thoughts, you just can't help yourself sometimes when, rent is coming up. It's the 23rd, rent's coming up here on the 1st, and you're not quite sure exactly where it's coming from. Or maybe you got rent covered, but you're trying to figure out how to cover the car insurance and then still have a little bit of money left over for food. And I'm here trying to tell you that you need to get yourself into an abundant mindset, like an abundant emotional field. So it's more than just like thinking about like, yeah, man, it'd be nice to have $1 million. That's not being intentional. That's not creating an abundance mindset. You literally have to sit back and relax and kind of take a few deep breaths and try to empty your mind and get, kind of clear. Just think about nothing. And then once you've got your mind kind of thinking about nothing, which can be a heck of a battle in the beginning anyways, because your mind is not used to thinking about nothing. You'll sit down, you'll try to think about nothing, and your mind will be, man, I forgot about that errand that I need to run, and I got to go get my dry cleaning. And like, your mind will start going crazy on you, and that's okay. Every time it does, you just remind it, that's okay, we're here to think about nothing. And you just maybe close your eyes and just imagine, like right now I'm closing my eyes, and because of this computer screen, there's like a little light, like this purplish light almost that I can kind of see across my forehead. And I just focus on that spot there, for a little bit and just try to think about nothing. But then once you've calmed your nerves, you've calmed yourself a little bit, start thinking about your dream life. Start thinking about whether it's $100,000 or $1 million or $10 million or $100 million. Start thinking about that and then start feeling the emotion. Like, feel the emotion that it would have if that was there. Like, imagine yourself holding on to $100,000 in cash. And like, all of a sudden you'll start to smile. Like, I can feel it. I can feel $100,000 in my hand, 10,000 bricks. Like, there's $100 bills and a $10,000 brick. And there's 10 of those stacked together, man. And I'm holding them in my hands and I'm feeling them. And it makes me feel abundant. It's exciting. I've actually been blessed a couple of times in life to have, some bigger chunks of actual cash. And this is something that maybe is a little off topic, but if you've got some money, but you've never actually held on to a substantial amount of cash, be careful about it. Don't do anything stupid. But I believe that actually holding on to some bigger amounts of cash would be absolutely phenomenal for you. So I mentioned it, a few weeks ago. I had a friend that won a poker tournament, and he won like $278,000 in this poker tournament. They actually gave it to him in $50,000 bricks. So they take $100 bills and they package it up with a band around it that says 10K. And then they put 5 of those together, and it creates a little brick about yay big, 3-4 inches tall, 4 or 5 inches tall, 6 inches long. And then they take rubber bands and they wrap the ends in rubber bands. So you've got this brick of money that is $50,000. And when I was over at his house, he had this $50,000 sitting out on his kitchen table, or it was $278,000, but $250,000 of it was in these bricks. So I was able to hold on to these 5 bricks, and you'd be surprised, these 5 bricks took up a huge amount of room. It was like everything I could do to hold $250,000 in cash. And then I've been fortunate enough back in my a little bit younger days, not that long ago, but I was a poker player and I needed cash. Cash was one of my tools. So I was used to carrying several $1,000s in cash around, and I had a couple of opportunities where I was carrying $10,000 to $20,000 on my person very regularly. And at first it was very uncomfortable. And I kept worrying about, like, what if I get robbed? And I thought to myself, you know what, Brad, you've been around this earth for 45 years, 47 years. You've never, ever come close to getting robbed. You're the only person that knows you have this money on you. It's really not that big of a deal, but it was fun. I tell you, like in the morning, grabbing that 20 grand and figuring out, like, so I would put like 19,500 in one pocket and 500 in another pocket. So I thought to myself, hey, if you do get somebody giving you a hard time that wants to rob you, you're just going to pull out the little wad that's got $500 and you're just going to, like throw it. And then while they're distracted, while they're going to grab that 500, you get the heck out of Dodge. So I was kind of smart, but anyways, I'm telling you, there's something special about actually holding money. So even if you're somebody that's doing well in life and you've got $100,000 in the bank and $500,000 in a 401k, you've got money that you can look at on a computer screen, but you've never actually felt, touched, and enjoyed 10 grand, $20,000 in your hand. If you have the ability to do that, I highly recommend it. It'll probably take a little work. Your bank's going to think you're crazy when you tell them, hey, I want to withdraw $20,000 cash. But once again, not financial advice, and be careful. I would hate for one of you to go to the bank on my advice here and go get $20,000 out of your bank account and then have something bad happen to you where you did get mugged or you got robbed or you lost it somehow. I mean, I would feel horrible. So please be careful if you decide to do this. But telling you, figure out ways to create abundance. I promise you, you cannot hold $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in cash in your hands and not have a smile on your face. I mean, just thinking about holding it gives me a smile. And so start doing things in your life that help you feel abundant. Step out in faith. I know one of the last stories I'm going to tell, I just saw this on YouTube a couple of days ago. There was a guy, Andrew Tate, love him, hate him, whatever it is. I'm not saying that the guy is the best guy in the world. This is not a personal opinion on him himself, but there was a time when they were, several years ago when they didn't have very much money, and he went and bought a watch for like $6 grand, and he took a picture of it and he sent it to his brother. I believe it's Tristan. He sent this picture of this $6,000 watch to his buddy, or to his brother. And his brother said, what are you doing, man? You're broke. Like $6,000 was all your money. And Andrew said something very prophetic to his brother. He said, don't worry about it, brother. More money's coming. And sure enough, just a couple short years later, they were walking through a store and he bought a way more expensive watch. And when he bought that way more expensive watch, he took the $6,000 watch off of his wrist and he gave it to his brother. And he said, hey, you remember when I bought this watch a couple years back and you were all, upset with me and thought I'd spent all of my money? I told you more money was coming. Now, once again, folks, I know we have responsibilities. I'm not telling you to go take every dollar that you have and go blow it on a watch. But my point is, you'd be better off taking all the money that you got and going and blowing it on a watch than hoarding it and being so careful with your money and so deathly afraid that something's going to happen, that you're going to lose your money, always thinking about lack. That is a worse problem to have than going and spending all of your money on a dream vacation, or going and buying an expensive watch, or going and buying an expensive car. Like Brad Lee says, hey, I bought many cars in my life that I couldn't afford, but I used it as motivation to do the work. So what some people will do is they'll go buy the car, they'll create the bills, and then they come home and just worry about how they're going to pay for it. And they get themselves depressed and they get themselves unmotivated and they don't do any of the work. And then they lose all of the stuff. And then, of course, it looked like it was an extremely foolish decision to go buy this stuff that they couldn't afford. But Brad went and bought these cars that he couldn't afford. But then it made him work twice as hard. He started putting in 10, 12, 16-hour days working on his business because he knew that he wanted to keep this stuff and he wanted to keep being abundant. So once again, folks, it's going to look a little bit different for each and every one of you. You got to figure out what abundance is, what that looks like. And so I just recommend starting out on YouTube. There's so much incredible information on YouTube. I would highly recommend, YouTube searching Dr. Joe Dispenza and watching some Dr. Joe Dispenza. Mel Robbins is a lady. So for you ladies out there, if you enjoy watching lady podcasters more than men, Mel Robbins is absolutely amazing. She's fantastic. I was watching her the other day, and she really came, across with an idea that I'd never thought about. She mentioned how a lot of people, when they visualize, they just visualize the good times, that you actually have to visualize the bridge. So when you're thinking about the Ferrari that you want, but you know that the building of this crypto business, your investments, is the work that it's going to take. So there's the Ferrari, here's the crypto, and you need to do the work to get over here to the Ferrari. That you can't just imagine having the Ferrari and sitting in the Ferrari and driving the Ferrari. That's important. You want to do that too, but you actually want to come back and you want to envision your crypto business. You want to envision, working real hard and putting that $1,000 into a crypto that you think is going to 100x. And then instead of 100xing, your $1,000 turns into 100. And then what do you do in that moment? Do you quit? Or do you keep on moving on? Do you go make yourself another $1,000? Maybe you put yourself in a position where you're halfway there. All of a sudden your crypto portfolio is $250,000 and you're well on your way to $1 million. And when you hit $1 million, you're going to go spend, $250,000 of it on that Ferrari. And all of a sudden your crypto portfolio goes from 250 and Bitcoin decides to have a big retracement. And you look back at your account and you're only at $125,000 a few days later. What do you do? Do you quit? Do you cash out that $125,000? Do you give up on your dreams? And so it's important to visualize the work. Like me, I'm on my way down. If Eric Bernstein, if you're watching, man, I just weighed in down into the 230s, 239.4 today, folks. I was 257 when I started this journey about 53 days ago. I just clicked into the 230s, 239.4 today on my way down to 199. But now when I visualize my body at 199. I visualize my health at 199. But I'm also visualizing all of the work that I'm going to do. I'm visualizing like what happens on a day. Like I had a day the other day where I didn't even get my first workout in or any of my gallon of water. I hadn't started until 5 p.m., 6 p.m. at night because I had some things going on during the day. So that was an interesting day, man. I had to drink a gallon of water from 5 p.m. till about 10, 11 o'clock at night when I go to bed. I had to get 2 workouts in, one of them outdoors. And so now when I'm doing my meditation and my visualization, I visualize what am I going to do when some of those tough times come, when it's not a perfect day. Like yesterday was a perfect day. I got up before church. I did an amazing workout. I drank half a gallon. Went to church. I came home from church. It was my wife's birthday. And so we had plans to go to Fogo de Chao, which was a Brazilian steakhouse. So I didn't eat at all yesterday. I just had a cup of coffee in the morning. I wanted to save all of my calories, but I came home from church. I did my second workout. I got the rest of my water drink. I read I read 10 pages in my book. This is the book that I'm reading right now, developing the leader within you. This is the book I'm reading right now. I read my book first thing in the morning. Anyways, yesterday was super smooth, man. I was done with everything that I needed to do on my 75 hard by like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's amazing. But you have to visualize the work and visualize how you're going to get through the tough times, because I'm a big proponent that getting wealthy in crypto is one of the easiest things that you'll ever do in your whole life. And I also am a big proponent and a big believer that getting wealthy in crypto is also one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. So with that, folks, God bless you. Thank you very, very much again for being here today. And I just want to do real quick. I just want to say, get into the chat here. Hey, thank you very much, Dave. Go take advantage of that free month, Dave. And I promise you, man, by the end of that free month, if you employ some of the strategies that we are putting into that inner circle, I think there's a very high likelihood that you will decide to stay with us and be a part of that group. But seriously, brother, no hard feelings, no strings attached. If you decide at the end of the month that it's just not for you and you don't want to stay, I still would love for you to get the value of the free month, folks. That's so important. I'm not giving you a free month on the hopes that you're going to stick around. Yes, that would be fantastic. I'm giving you the free month because I believe that whether you stick around or not, that free month in my inner circle is going to give you so much value. It's going to help you make tens of thousands of dollars that you might not have made during this bull market, folks. We've got about 7 or 8 recordings. The last couple are absolute fire. And the one that we did this last Saturday on the 19th of whatever it was, the 19th or the 20th, is absolutely phenomenal. 21st, I can't even, what is it, Monday? So Saturday was the 21st. Anyways, that one that I did 2 days ago, you absolutely need to see that. So folks, go take advantage of your free month in the inner circle. We'll see you on Wednesday. I'm excited to go over some microcap gems, man. We have some tokens right now that we are incredibly excited about, that we really believe we have found some amazing gems that a lot of other people are not talking about yet. And just wait, some of these tokens I very much believe are going to hit the radar of some other big influencers over the next 2, 3, 4 months. And then they're going to just absolutely skyrocket as Bitcoin runs up back to 80, 90, 100,000 plus. And man, we are changing lives here at Infinite Crypto. We are helping. Our passion, our mission is to help people create freedom in their lives. We don't believe that God put you here on this earth to work for 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week for 40 or 50 or 60 years of your life just to make ends meet, just to pay your rent and just to have some food on the table, folks. We want you to have freedom to wake up. I love having 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. Folks, I don't know one day of the week from another, except for like on these live stream days. I know Monday and Wednesday I do a live stream. But other than that, like days just run together. Saturday's no different than Tuesday, and Monday's no different than Sunday. Like I don't have to go in and have a boss, somebody telling me when I got to be there, when I can leave, when I can take a pee, when I can go on vacation. Folks, we want you to experience that in your life. That's the only reason this channel exists, is to help you create freedom and have the dream life that we believe you deserve. So with that, folks, have a fantastic day. And, once again, Dave, thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate it, man. And we will see you all on Wednesday. God bless and take care. Have a great day.